Somebody asked me this question. Bible is written by people. So how can Bible be holy Bible? How can Bible be the God's word if it is written by people? Because people are imperfect. Great question. And yes, Bible was written by people indeed. 40 different authors over a period of 1,500 years. And all these 40 different authors, they were like tax collector, doctor, shepherds and kings. And they were all imperfect people, I agree. So then how come Bible is holy? How come Bible is God's word? John 1:1 says this. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Replace the word with Jesus. The word was Jesus, okay? In the beginning was Jesus. Jesus was with God, and Jesus is God. Yeah? So when Jesus came down to this earth, and he was sharing with people, God's word, people were like, okay, this is something new. This man speaks with so many parables. He speaks in different levels, Whatever Jesus spoke, it created an impact on people. And that's why the disciples wrote what Jesus spoke. Okay? I'm telling you so many things. Are you writing this down? No, of course not. But when Jesus spoke, the disciples, they wanted to write it down. Because they were fascinated by what Jesus told. It created an impact, right? So the disciples wrote it down. And that's what we have in the Bible, the New Testament. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, these were all disciples of Jesus. And what they saw, what they heard is what they wrote down in the Bible. So what makes the Bible holy? It's not the imperfect authors. It's not the Bible, it's just a book with pages. It's not the ink from which it was written, but it's God's word. When John wrote the book of John, he was not writing his thoughts, okay? He was not a professional author or anything. He was not writing his thoughts. What he saw, what he experienced, what Jesus told him, that's what he wrote. So God's word, Jesus, came down to this earth. He shared the word, and that word came to the disciples, and the disciples wrote down the word as a Bible. And when we read the word, we call it God's word. Now if I take God's word, and I'm taking God's word, I'm sharing this with you, what am I doing? I'm sharing God's word. Now if you take this God's word, you nourish it in your soul, and you share it with people, you're sharing God's word too. That's what makes the Bible holy. It's God's word. So that's why the Bible is called God's word. Okay? If you have any questions, drop it in the comments. I'll either reply or make a separate video on it. God bless you.